Welcome. Today I wanted to talk to y'all about some changes I have, some updates with my services, and to just do a little energy update, little current reading for the collective. So as y'all know, probably it's Mercury retrograde right now, right? Mercury retrograde gonna be through August 27th, 28th, around that date. And then there's the full moon, which is supposed to be a surging moon, and it is going to be in the sign of Aquarius. Since I was tapping into what is all happening, and I was feeling like that this moon is like opening up this space while we're in the midst of the retrograde for us to pull in these new beginnings, to open like this new pocket of energy, whatever it is that we are newly developing, getting involved with. As this retrograde came in, it kind of didn't feel for me like the retrograde was a traditional retrograde. Like, it's been feeling like it is revealing some things, as Mercury retrograde energy tends to do, but it also feels like it's a resurgence of energy, like a new coming in, and a reinforcement, and a reinvent, and a redo, of the energies of the things that was already there. It feels like almost realigning, you could say. And so that's the energy I was picking up on as I'm tapping in. And the Aquarius moon started to feel quirky. Like, it has this quirky energy that felt like, that unexpected, surprising thing happening. But it didn't feel like it was negative. It just felt, the word I had was, it felt real. It feels real. Like, it feels like it's something that's tangible. It feels like it's like a new beginning, an unexpected event, something that's just like all of a sudden unfolded. Maybe it's something you've been working on, or something you just called in, but whatever that thing is, it's like it's unexpected unfoldment. And it feels like there's all this energy behind it. Like, the unfoldment is just the tip of it, and there's so much coming after it. It's like a portal, and it's like wide. It's like narrow to wide. And so that's what I was picking up on as I was tapping into the energy of the Mercury retrograde and the moon. So, I went ahead and collected a message for the collective. And some of the things that came through was that moving in love is very important. So what it was it was the card that is a card that has a airplane with balloons on it, and it talks about honeymoon, like beginning that new thing. And so the energy of it that I was picking up really wasn't so much about a honeymoon. It was more so about you moving in love, like doing everything you're doing in love, like having this higher agenda for what it is that you're actually physically embodying and physically doing, and how you're actually moving in your life. And so that's kind of like the top of the message. The very high perspective is to make sure that you're choosing love, and that you're choosing the highest vibe as you're moving through the things, the challenges too, not just the daily life, not just the mundane, not just, oh, I'm taking care of the kids, or my husband or my wife. It's like everything needs to be dipped in love. And dipped in love meaning awareness, meaning that whenever you're taking your actions and making your decisions, that they're coming from like the God self, the God mind, the God function, the highest vibrating portion of yourself. And taking that moment to actually stop before you make a decision, or before you act, and actually ask yourself, what does this moment require? What does this moment require? What is the highest vibration or response, or that I can bring to this moment? Instead of it just being what logically makes sense. Because, sometimes when we're being logical, we're not really calculating on the realm of divinity. We are using what we already have, the things that have already happened, the things we've already been, the things we've already done, the things the other person already done. Like, we're making a calculated decision. It's like math. It's not like science, So math is like the technical part, while science is why the math exists. Like, it's kind of like that. So high level view when we're moving through things. Also, there was a conversation about meeting a divine mate. So in this conversation, it's not just like the idea of twin flames and soulmates. It can be more like a soulmate, or it can be a divine union, which just depends on where you are in your journey. Because like, these things, they're for the collective. So there's an overall agenda space where these things can be moving in several people's lives. However, personally, how it impacts you, that's something that you have to definitely discern on your own. Tap into yourself, your team, your God function, and say, hey, okay, yes, does this resonate or not? But there was also a conversation about moving in with a divine mate, like the actual coming together, unification, the melding, the thing that makes you the oneness function within a union. That thing coming into alignment. So that was one of the messages. Also, yes, there was something about closing cycles. So, I was talking about the realigning. They're bringing me back to that, the conversation of the realigning. So then there's the ending and there's the beginning, right? And so they showed me that there's some other thing or other party that is within the cycle of what is changing, and those pieces are needing to shift and align. And those things, they're asking for you to have patience and for you to allow the divine timing of that portion of what is happening. And while you're waiting, continue to make sure you're moving in love, and to make room for whatever it is is coming in. It's like preparing your mind, preparing your space, preparing like whatever those pieces are of your journey. Even if it's like a new job, how do I feel in this new job? Let me put in my mind how I want it to feel. Like if it's a new relationship, what is the optimal function of God in your relationship? Because we have these unions, and it's not often discussed, the intention of the union and how important it is to be mindful of that intention. So maybe find out what is the divine intention for this union, because that may come into play as to how the union plays out, what happens, what doesn't happen. And it's important to kind of be mindful about the highest function of what you're doing. All right. And so choosing yourself, making sure that you are allowing yourself to be the primary space holder in your life. Making sure that the choices you're making are for you. You don't want to make a lot of choices about the people and the relationships you're involved in. You want to have an overall perspective of you and then those things. Ultimately, the most let me say it this way, the highest function of what you are in this world is you choosing yourself. And so everything falls divinely under that. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Everything falls divinely under that. So if that's in alignment, then everything else, like meaning you're centered, you're doing your highest function in yourself at your moments, then there we go. This is the advice. I'm not saying you need to, have to, and no judgments, but that's what is coming. That's what's coming. So as the cycle is being completed with the other person and whatever is going on with the closing of cycles involving other beings, excuse me, pardon self. Be mindful of what the creation that is coming in is. Get into that. There's a level of mastery developing. So steady your mind, stay focused, and it was recommended for you to have a mantra, a helpful mantra. So one thing I learned about creating mantras is, and this is again my experience, when you create a mantra, say if a person is like depressed and they're feeling like life isn't treating them well, life and too much, then what you want to do is create a mantra that is like the far extreme of that you want to feel. So I was going through a phase. My mother was ill. She was passing away. She was going through the process of ascension. And so I was also not where I wanted to be in my life, just generally speaking. And I was having a lot of financial turmoil. I was trying to get a relationship to work that ended up not working. I invested a lot of energy into that. So what I was doing was trying to recalibrate my energy so that I don't have to drag. I didn't feel like that drag and that negativity like pulling me down. I wanted to feel some love, some light. I needed to lift myself up, and I needed to keep going because I was still involved in what was going on with my mother's health. So I could not just dwell in what was happening. I had to kind of be able to keep up some kind of pace with what is going on. I couldn't really stop and have all the time I wanted. At least that's what I calculated. There could have been room, but that, at the time I couldn't see it. So since I couldn't see it, I took all my free moments, all my moments where I didn't need to have my attention on something, and I put the attention on myself. So the mantra I created was, my life is so perfect, it feels like magic. And then magical things started to happen. So what happens with this mantra when you use it is, whenever your brain is running some scripts that you don't really want to run, that don't make you feel good, that's not expressing fortune and upliftment and abundance, you when you catch yourself, you don't beat yourself up or anything. You just say, oh, I caught the stream, let me shift it. So then you start saying the mantra, right? So my life is so perfect, it's like magic. My life is so perfect, it's like magic. And you start to really just conjure it up. So whatever creative expression you want to make sure it's good, and make sure you love the mantra, right? Because then you're going to want to say it. You're actually going to want to say it. So maybe it's a good idea to create that mantra when you're not in a moment of a particular moment that's heavier than your other moments. Pick it when you're at a more clearer moment. So maybe even do a meditation or whatever you do to help shift your energy out of stress and into something higher, and take that moment to create the mantra, and just make sure it's really good, and say it 50 million different ways. Say it 50 times. You know what I'm saying? Because what'll happen is, then on autopilot, your brain gonna start to just go ahead and throw you back into the mantra. So then you're not even gonna have to make an effort, and you're gonna be manifesting, because your breath manifests, your voice manifests, your thoughts manifest, your feelings manifest. So make sure it feels good, you know, make sure it feels good. Okay. And that helps you to switch up your thoughts and change yourself. So the advice was to help you switch your thinking by doing this mantra. You don't need to have one. You can create more if you can handle more. But if it's easier to just have one, just have one. It also helps you to be more tapped into your divinity, because you're actually choosing the higher vibration. So that was one of the other points. Being decisive, making sure that you are making the choice to choose the new path. Because if you don't make the choice to choose the new path, how are you going to get there? Because you were already on the path you already mapped out, that you ran in circles on forever. So to get out of that, create the new path, you have to create where's the footprints. Make your footprints, you know what I'm saying? So you got to create that new path. So being mindful to always choose yourself and be decisive in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that you're tapping in, you're listening to however your messages come in. Because sometimes people have words. Sometimes people have feelings, gut feelings. Sometimes people have resonance, the feeling of something resonating that lets them know what decision to make. Make that decision and then go with it. Follow through. Follow through. That was the other part. Follow through. Make sure you're following through. So you have to choose the path. You have to actively choose it. It's already waiting for you. It's already there, but you have to choose to go that way. Your body ain't gonna just go that way when you've been walking this way the whole time. You gotta train it, you know what I'm saying? Just like you train everything else. I know we all familiar with the training. You know, you get a new job, you train yourself a new path to how to do that work. So in that new facility, even if it's the same job, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we're familiar with training ourselves into things. That's probably one of the things we've probably done the most, training ourselves into things. Okay, so then it's already waiting for you. You have to choose to walk it. Okay, so all right, so they wanted me to address this having to do with breakups, because you know retrogrades can have you reassessing what you chose to do, who you chose to do it with, and all of that. So the conversation added on was about that your breakups do not have to be messy. So just because you're breaking up and it's an unpleasant experience doesn't mean it has to be nasty and ugly. Check in with your divine self to get guidance on how to walk out that exit plan, how to interact with the other person, because it's not necessary that there always must be an argument. Yes, there can be, there may be, and I'm not saying that's wrong. It's just being mindful, because you know when we're already in an emotional state and then we add fuel to that fire, things can tend to get out of hand. So just decide how you want to exit your relationships, if you're exiting a relationship, and tap in to see, you know, how should I handle this person, because there is a place where you can find healing for both people, and that's amazing. Think of that, like you're exiting, but you're exiting with a healing and not with another trauma story added on to what you already had. Like, who needs that? You know what I'm saying? You might want it sometimes though. Sometimes we like this. Anyway, wallow. But that's up to the person. I ain't telling nobody what to do. I'm just giving the message. So make sure you listen and understand to what each moment requires. Apologize or ask for forgiveness. Forgive yourself, because you know everybody plays a role. Even if your role was quiet and watching the other person do blah blah blah, you know what I'm saying, you whatever you didn't say, or ask, you know, the creator, ask your divine intelligence, like what could I have done differently to support my relationship or to have prevented this? Because even understanding that can give you advice on how to then go forward, and if you should end up in another relationship, how to better step in, move into, adjust yourself within that relationship. So we want to make sure we're taking those steps, especially if we're anticipating to have peace and love in their union. You know what I'm saying? Very important. Also for your own mental peace, like for your own self, like, you know, who doesn't want it? Okay, so that was the other piece of advice. Did we check in? Make sure we're being accountable with God's self first. Okay, and then we had some closing cards. So I'm gonna read from the book for these because I do not know these cards. I do not know them. And this one says, Cow Spirit, the miracles are endless. Oh wait, now let me give it to you. Let me give it to you in the order that it was given to me. Okay. So this was the first one. Scarab Beetle Spirit, magic works through you. Okay. Hope y'all can see that. The next one is Cow Spirit, the miracles are endless. Endless. You see how they gave you that? You see how they did that right there? They told you how to help you manifest what you want, and then remind you that you are magical and that endless miracles come through you. So let's see. The Scarab Beetle reads, magic works through you. In ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was revered for the creative magic of scarab beetle spirit, reminding us that we can bring forth something extraordinary, seemingly out of thin air. This is the third time for me that I'm hearing out of thin air, creating out of thin air. Okay, whenever you let your creativity flow through you, scarab beetle spirit reminds you that spirit has given you the gift of infinite potential. And you have an ally as you fashion something new or repurpose the old, for spirit co-creates with you, channeling energy through you so that you can feel replenished and vitalized as you make magic with what is at hand. Now is a time for great optimism, for you can accomplish anything you desire, and your creative endeavors will come to fruition. Miracles, opportunities, abundance, and love will appear seemingly out of nowhere as you allow spirit to work through you and magically manifest what you need. Protection message. Do you doubt your unique inner magic? Are you afraid that you have no Are you afraid that you have no originality, or that your creative juices don't flow through you? Perhaps you mistakenly believe that you're not the creative manifesting type. Scarab Beetle Spirit message is that creativity is a living force that comes to all of us from spirit, who wants every person on the planet to manifest magic and co-create the world anew. You are as capable of resilience and innovation as anyone. If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. So draw inspiration into your being and begin to playfully create something new, and do it without any judgment. Creativity and magic are your legacy as an expression of the creator, so let them flow through you. All right, let them flow through you. I like that message. That was beautiful. I'm inspired. I feel excited and stuff. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna try to calm down so I can read. Okay. Cow Spirit, the miracles are endless. You are at a beautiful point in your life today, for your needs are being met effortlessly and in so many ways. Fully embrace this truth by focusing on all you have right now, including the positive relationship that sustains you, the work you are proud to do to contribute to the world, and the activities that inspire and nurture your soul. Cow Spirit nudges you to pay attention, because this is the perfect time to focus on choices actions and behaviors that you know feed your soul and bring your heart contentment. Now is a time when you will see many of your projects and commitments that were set in motion in the past begin to yield valuable gifts that will bring you joy and love and sustain you for a long time to come. Stay positive and share your well-being with others. The more you share, the more you will manifest. So be generous. Cow Spirit promises you will never run out of miracles. Cow Spirit asks you to pay attention to how you nourish your mind, body, and spirit, because right now you are wobbling around like a newborn calf on its unsteady legs. Perhaps you've been spending too much time distracting yourself on the internet, or obsessing over a relationship, or choosing to eat foods that are not healthy. Whatever it is, you're being nudged to assess how you are looking after your needs. And remember, the universe has a way of reflecting back to you events and conditions that match how you treat yourself. Cow Spirit reminds you that the universe wants to give you the very best, but needs you to do your part to participate in the nourish your well-being. Heed her message and everything will shift in your favor. That is exactly what I said in the reading. You would think I had picked this card, but I sure didn't pick these cards. So that's perfect. Perfect inspiration and follow-up to the message that, Spirit had for us today. Oh, wow. That was great. Okay, I might have to listen back at that. Okay, so updates for my business. Now that we have completed the reading, I wanted to let y'all know that I was being called to do donation-based services. So I did not conjure this up myself, but I have made some decisions about like how I want to live with my business. And while it's a business that's anticipate to receive money from a business, the thing is, the whole reason for this business was not for money. It was for spiritual growth. It was for me to be a manifestation of the Creator on this earth, to give from the cup that I was given and to pour my gifts. And so because of that, I'm doing donation-based services. The plan right now is to do them till the end of the Mercury retrograde. At that time, I will assess if it is for me to continue with it or not. But right now, the energy was to open it up to Mercury retrograde. So that's August 27th. So I'll give it to August 28th, 8/28. I'll give it to 8/28. And then I'll let y'all know if I'm going to continue or not. But they are donation based. So what that's going to mean is there are, I think, 3-4 different services that are donation based, which are going to be the activation prayer, the text chat readings, and the cosmic versation. So the cosmic versation does include like a general session and answered questions and the activation prayer. The activation prayer is just a prayer. So if you just want to activate something in your life and you don't really feel like you need to read it, but you know that you want some help with a particular area of your life, I will do a channel message for you. It may be up to 30 minutes. Typically it's not. It's like 15 minutes. But if you have multiple issues that you give me to pray on, it could extend to 30 minutes, also depending on what's going on in your life. So if you have a lot of things going on around that particular topic, it may be longer, because we're going to be, sometimes when the channel comes through, it's healing sounds, it may be song, it usually includes a message of like what it is the spirit is energizing or activating or shifting within that part of your life. Those are very, very useful. I encourage y'all to take advantage of all the service, any service you can plan it, schedule it. So when you go in to purchase the service, it's gonna just have $1, because it didn't give me an option to do whatever amount the customer wants. So I had to just put something in it. So I put $1. So $1, that's just to get it set up. And then after the service, you can give whatever donation that you can. So I just ask that when you give the donation, you give what you feel called to give, what you feel led to give. I don't have any particular numbers on it, because I'm just the vessel. Like, I'm just doing the work. I'm happy to do the work. So this is me just trying to get people to do what they being called to do. So make sure that we're getting this work done, because we are trying to build like community and to rebuild ourselves as people. And I'm very, very, very ready to see us in this energy. So this is me doing my part. I have also adjusted the prices on my products, so you can check those out. The chargers, I kind of lowered the price on everything, so just check it out, see if it's anything calling to you, because each one of my pieces is a vibrational investment. There's things I do to activate it. I put it in the sun, chart in the sun. There's tones, there's frequencies, there's prayers. This is like, it's a whole energetic experience. So the stuff that I write about my products is accurately what was channeled with the actual piece. There are energies. So what energy do you need? You know, you can pick one of those things. Okay. And so yeah, so that's it. But also, you don't want to have a little more transparency on my page, because it's not a thing to hide, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a thing to hide or anything. I think that I had perceptions around how you're supposed to show up as a healer, and I didn't want to be seen in a certain way. At this point, whatever it is that I am is what I need to show up as, so I'm here for it. So I'm gonna be posting my songs and developments, so that y'all can, you know, tap in and get that. I'm gonna have an album eventually, which I'm working on, but that may take some time, and I don't want to keep people waiting while I'm doing that when I have other things that I can release. There's things that, you know, Spirit was like, well, I was like, well, Spirit, well, you know, people stealing songs out here, and they were like, well, it's not your song, it's not for you. It's for everyone. So I said, okay, so I have some I'm going to be posting as I go. Some will be light language songs that I'm just channeling through Spirit, and then some will be like mantras, or just, you know, regular songs. And I'm saying regular, but they're going to be, you know, about your upliftment, your awareness, your fulfilling of yourself, your, you know, because that's my thing. So we're gonna do that. So anyway, that is what's going on. So I just try to quickly run through all of that. So definitely comment below, let me know if you have any questions. You can chat me on any platform that I'm on. Check me out on YouTube, and YouTube is going to be converted into another place to find my podcast. My podcast is Omni Bits Confirmations. So that will be there'll be more posting on YouTube. So I appreciate y'all patience and working with me and still showing up. I know I had some interruptions after I wasn't planning to, because I had a major life change occur in my own personal life. So y'all be hearing about that on my YouTube channel, and you know, not in grave detail, because I gotta respect people's privacy, but you know, in the ways in which it applies through my experience that it can be helpful to others. I want to definitely be a voice for that. I'm learning a whole lot. Learned a lot through the relationship, learning a lot as I'm transitioning into my next phase, and I'm just here for it all. So that is all I have for y'all today. Peace and love, and until next time, I hope you have the most abundant unfoldments. All right, I love y'all. I'm out.